Well, hello again. Today I will be reading to you from Something Special at Leonard's Inn, Chapter 5, Manger-Child. The noise outside was growing again as Leonard tried to extinguish all the lamps in the inn. And from the growing din outside, it promised to be longer before quiet settled in. How in the world had the miracle of birth found its way into the madhouse created by Caesar's registration? Looking down into the face of Mary's child had somehow touched his heart. Holding the tiny fingers in his own had given Leonard a thrill beyond words. He was glad that he could never turn away any expectant mother, regardless of her ability to pay for lodging. He knew it was because of his own devastation when Sarah had been unable to bless him with children after the incident 20 years earlier. It seemed that the only people Leonard could turn away were the shepherds in Jerome's band. Why can't I get those uncouth ruffians out of my mind? Leonard thought. Tonight I should be preparing for the rejoicing to be done for Joseph's new son. Leonard's thoughts were interrupted by shouts from the streets. He recognized the voices of some of the neighbors. "Go away, you noisy tramps! Let us get some sleep!" "But we must find the right place," a young man's voice called in return. Leonard had never heard this voice before. "This must be the place. The city is full of people like you. We blame it on the Roman governor," the neighbor yelled back. "This is not the place," a familiar voice rose above the mobbish sounds. "It's further down. Yes, I recognize it just down the street. Come along, Isaac, Josiah." Leonard knew the voice, but he could not place it. He made his way to the door and, looking out to the street, recalled the face that belonged to the voice. "You," he screamed, "have you not brought your flock with you this time?" Jerome knew that he would not be an expected sight after so many years of absence, but he hoped that those years might have softened some of the hatred Leonard harbored because of a poor decision made so long ago. Any other time but this, Jerome would have simply turned and walked away. But tonight was special. An angel had spoken directly to him. "We left the sheep alone in the hills, Leonard. We may lose all, but we must know. Where is the baby?" "You're too late. You will not ruin another man's family in this place. You and your kind are welcome to leave." Leonard snarled at the old shepherd standing just outside his door. "Where, Leonard? Where?" Jerome pleaded. The other shepherds were astounded. They had given up on the idea of finding the Manger-Child, for he was not to be found in any other stable in all of Bethlehem, nor in the surrounding country. Jerome could not leave. He knew he had found the place. Tonight he would get through to his old friend and let him know the sorrow that had been suffered over the crushing of friendship by a youthful stunt. Or he would not. One thing he did know: he would see the child of the angel's message. "Make me leave if you must, but first let us look upon the child." "We have seen signs of angels," Jerome said in the voice of authority developed over many years of being shepherd leader. "Let them come." The quiet voice behind him startled the anger from Leonard. He turned to see Joseph, the young father, standing at the corner of the house. "Let them come, Leonard. For there is something special at your inn tonight. It seems this child is surrounded by visions of angels." Joseph did not explain this statement, but his manner told Leonard that it was time to overlook the past long enough to allow the shepherd to experience the wonder of the child. Leonard softened and said, "Come then, Jerome. See what you have come for." As they entered the stable behind his inn, Leonard felt his heart melt again. The bitterness was replaced with the love that had so long been pushed aside. Looking at the manger baby again, it was as if the voice of God said, "It is time to forgive. You have punished your friend and yourself long enough." Leonard looked, and his ancient friend had fallen to his knees before the manger. Mary smiled that gentle smile, and the baby slept. In that moment, Leonard knew that he must forgive the shepherds. They were no longer the impetuous young men who had destroyed his hopes with a thoughtless joke. They were old, like he was old. And they were all participants in something grand. Leonard knew that he forgave Jerome, and he placed his hand on the old herdsman's shoulder. "I brought only one," an aged voice crept into the solemn air. Leonard and Jerome turned to find Joshua standing at the back of the crowded stable. He was holding a lamb, a spotless lamb. Jerome had not noticed the lamb as they ran from the fields. "I could not replace the foolishness of my youth," Joshua was saying. "Jerome meant to offer you the finest of our flock for your son so many years ago. I could not resist turning the gesture into another joke on our friend who would not work in the fields with us. Will you accept this, the finest of our flock, for the baby born here tonight? Let us celebrate what the angels sang." Sarah had quietly come into the stable from the inn and now nodded her head toward the gift in the arms of the contrite prankster. Reaching out, Leonard took the lamb and carried it to the manger. Joseph placed his hand on the animal's head. Mary smiled that gentle smile, and the baby slept. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this reading from the story Something Special at Leonard's Inn. Over the next few days, while we're cooped up, I hope to read to you some of my other Christmas time stories, and hope that the hope of Christmas will bless us all during this time of desperation. Have a nice day.